which is so exciting because I don't know that we talked about trying to do another episode today of just some news roundup stuff like we would normally do.
Yeah.
But I was like, how are we going to do that, dude?
Yeah, we
and
would've
not
struggled
talk
through it.
about what just happened.
Yeah.
And what just happened is like colossal. It is
Yes.
it is the biggest change for Chromebooks, I think, ever.
I mean, and according to, the leadership, Chrome OS leadership, it is. It is the biggest like overall shift in the way that Chromebooks are presented. The terms inflection point were used. Like this is a big movement, and so this isn't a thing where we're going to talk about it this week, and then maybe 6 months from now you'll hear about Chromebook Plus.
Yeah, we'll move on. We'll talk about something else for a little while, and then come back to this. No, this is going to be ongoing.
Yeah, this
conversation.
is going to be kind of interface forever now. Like this is part of the Chrome OS Chromebook experience now.
Yeah.
And what we're talking about,
yes,
what we're talking
I'm going to
about
throw the slide up,
over Chromebook Plus.
Boom.
So we've talked about it as Chromebook Plus. We found
there
that
it is.
quite a ways back.
It's real.
But yes, it is officially Chromebook Plus. And John Miletus, sorry, we always refer to him as Miletus. John Miletus had actually said...
There's John Miletus and John Solomon. So we just...
Miletus
and Solomon.
Yeah, and so Miletus had said, even in the presentation, that it was a press-only thing. We're going to talk about the event and all that stuff here in a second. But it was a press event, and at it, he said multiple times, it's not Chromebook X, it's Chromebook Plus. Like Chromebook X was the internal code name. Obviously, they code name stuff for a reason. They're doing their best in an open source world to try to kind of mask some of this stuff. And
we talked about it last week. Kyle had found some of the early stuff of
he
CBX.
found it. Like and
it's out there. It's gonna happen. Like it's hard to.
Here's my
it's hard to hide stuff.
Criticism on these kind of things. Like if you're gonna code name it like brick mortar. Something that has nothing to do with anything. Like CBX is enough to be like CB Chromebook X. What is a Chromebook X? Like it's enough to because I spend a lot of time looking through the repository, as I'm sure like Kyle over at 9 to 5 does. There's certain things that your eye sees and you're like, ooh, what's that? And I'm sure there are plenty of things I gloss over that are either codenamed or written in such a way that it's like, I that could be a thing, but I don't have time to spend to dig that deep into every single commit. I mean, there's literally thousands of them on a daily basis. So, maybe next time, maybe not Chromebook X, maybe go with like Fern. Just white shelf.
You're just naming things in the room.
I'm looking around. And seriously, like be that random with it, and we wouldn't have found it probably, but we did. Kyle found Chromebook X.
Maybe
I found
once
that one little line that said Chromebook Plus, and I'm like, that's exactly what it's going to be. We were wrong about the logo. We did a video.
We were.
I blame it on Joe. Joe
It's
said
okay.
it.
It's
I
my
liked
fault.
the idea. He was wrong.
It's my fault.
I think we can share this.
They worked through several iterations.
Obviously, and they showed them to people and all that stuff. So all the feedback they got, there was going to be. I think we said it on the podcast last week or last time, and then in our
I may or may not have mocked it up just to see what it would look like.
Yeah, we did that. We thought about putting it as the featured image for the Chromebook. Like we literally, I was sitting in the press thing. Again, well, I don't want to say too much about it, but we were sitting there getting ready for the event to start, publishing the video of the 3i, like maybe being a Chromebook Plus, like, and we didn't know for sure yet, but we knew, like, I was being conservative in the video, like I think probably it's going to be one. I'm like, it's 100% this is going to be it,
almost certain.
Now they could have showed up with something very different than this. They could have. I just didn't feel like that was realistic,
right?
And so it's not. The cool part is like all of these are going to be available at Best Buy, so this thing will finally be at Best Buy, which is awesome. Anyway, we'll get to that.
Yeah, get to the hardware.
But yeah, it's Chromebook Plus. It's not just a Plus logo. Kind of we thought maybe like
is there any branding in the release here? We've got several photos that will be included.
And again, remember we're doing.
I'll maybe just put up a photo right here.
We're doing this prior to.
Wow, that's weird that they don't have a shot of the logo.
Ooh, I love that.
I know that was a cool presentation.
Out of curiosity, let's see what that brings up.
Yeah. Regardless, it says Chromebook and then Plus written out.
So we've got some
slightly
other stuff
thicker,
we're
right?
afraid to. There we go. You can go ahead and shove that slide right there.
Oh, perfect. Yep. Slightly bolder plus on the very end.
Right in line. They felt like that worked better.
They've gotten rid of Chrome logo.
Yeah, the Chrome logo goes away with this logo.
Gosh. I think it looks great. Honestly,
it looks really sleek on the device. And so you can imagine a device like this one, maybe right there.
Yeah.
So it would just be right there instead of that Chromebook logo. It would just, was that a Chrome?
Yeah, that one says Chromebook.
That's Chromebook. Just say Chromebook Plus there in all gray. It's super sleek looking. We have quite a bit of the hardware here.
I think we were...
when we're talking about this, we can't really get into the hardware just yet.
Right.
There are agreements
we can
and
say
embargoes in place. We have them. We can say the models.
Can we say the models? Yes.
Yeah. We'll give you... We're going to get into it. But we'll give you a high-level view of... Are we not sharing that now?
No. I'm on you. I'm on the wide angle
Let me
here.
Swap back here.
We got
some stuff. We
got some stuff we're working through here.
Yeah,
I'm getting a phone call. We got stuff
careful.
we're not allowed to share.
I know.
All right. I will call you back in a second.
We're all thumbs.
Okay.
So anywho, yeah, Chromebook Plus is the name, not Chromebook X, and yeah, it's for some people. I think it could come across as, oh, you're rebranding. So you're rebranding a segment of Chromebooks. And to be fair, somewhat, yeah. That's somewhat the case. So perfect example, this Chromebook right here is technically available. Like that's kind of how we got it. You can go to Lenovo right now and buy it. And it won't be considered a Chromebook Plus, but in the weeks to come, it will. Mm-hmm. Like it'll get all the same stuff.
Retrofitting all of it.
So they'll retrofit all of it. We'll get into that too. I don't want to get into the specifics yet. But it's not just a rebranding. Like slapping that on there isn't what they're talking about doing. It's not like, oh, that fixes it. It's this idea that you're going to create a segment of Chromebooks, and we've talked about this already at length. Based on what we knew, like this has to be kind of what Google's aiming for. It's creating a subsegment of. It's almost going to be the majority of Chromebooks, to be honest. It really is. Where these devices have this label, this clear branding on them, where if a consumer goes in and wants to buy one, they know that they get all the best stuff that Chrome OS has to offer. Now, that doesn't mean manufacturers can't make devices that don't go along with these guidelines. They can.
There's going to be regular Chromebook models still.
But we were worried. I think we talked about this last week or the week prior. What about the Dragonfly? Mm-hmm. It's not mid-range because that was clearly one of the focus points, and that's what it is. I mean, I'll spoil this part. Chromebook Plus models start at $399. So they knew this is the this is the meat of the market when it comes to consumers. This is where people want to be with Chromebook purchases. So they aim to stay in that realm with these first quote unquote newer devices. And so they've done that. They've achieved that. But it doesn't mean that higher end Chromebooks aren't that, if that makes sense. Like it doesn't mean that devices like by the time that you're watching this, we will have also we're like having a future cast way more than normal here. I don't like it.
So weird.
I don't like it. We will have unboxed the Acer Chromebook 714.
Yeah.
The beast model. So it's going to show up mid-October at Best Buy, and it's the same 714, just like on steroids. So it's got 16 gigs of RAM. I think it's 512 storage. I think it brings the pen back, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe adds a fingerprint scanner to the mix. Core i7, 16 gigs of RAM, monster,
all the stuff.
A quad HD screen.
I'm
looking real forward to it. I'm not going to lie
sexy.
to you. As much as I just absolutely
the value
adore this device. The value proposition for Chromebook Plus is amazing, but I also love high-end devices too. But it doesn't mean those devices won't be Chromebook Plus certified, I guess.
It's a criteria. It's a spec requirement.
It's a rubric.
A rubric.
You're like, no, it's really a testing thing. For us, it'd be a rubric.
Yeah.
The Chromebook Plus rubric.
The manufacturers are working through the Chromebook Plus rubric.
I love that word.
To make a device Chromebook Plus or not.
Correct.